Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. This is card number 2 using the Sparkling Snowflakes stamp set. And this one I'm using a basic gray card base, a bubble bath card front at 5 by 3 3/4. And then this little strip that I did the greeting on is 3/4 of an inch wide. And I'm using some of the silver and white ribbon. I've got a piece cut here that we'll be using on the card here. This is all done with the silver embossing powder. And I've got, if you've got some basic rhinestones, you can use those on these. I didn't. I've got some of these little sparkly adhesive dots left over from a paper pumpkin kit. So I've used those on there, but you could use the rhinestones for sure. I just don't have any of those. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make this card. We're dimensionalizing this piece up, and we're also dimensionalizing this piece up. So I'm just going to pop that there like that. I've already gone ahead and done the first set of embossing on here. It's going to, there's 3 steps to embossing this. There's one snowflake, and then you emboss the other or stamp the other snowflake and emboss it. And then we're going to do the greeting. So, if you want to, grab a coffee or a tea, this one's going to take just a little bit longer because we are doing the heat embossing on the video. So I apologize for the noise, but we are going to do the heat embossing on the video. So I'm using the smaller snowflake, and I'm just coming in between the larger snowflakes that we've already heat embossed. And we're going to do this side here. I tried doing this all at once and I got lost where I had done the heat embossing or stamping with the Versamark, and it was a mess. So I decided I'd do it in steps. So now I'm just going to add my embossing powder to piece. There we are. So that's 2 of them done. The nice thing about this is you can hold on to the spot that's already embossed. So you know where you can hold on to, and you're not going to muck anything up. And let's just put some, and it doesn't matter how careful I do this, I always end up with embossing powder everywhere. It's just a thing. So let's just pop this out of the way for now, and we're going to go ahead and get the heat embossing tool out, and we're just going to heat it up. Okay, so we've got that step kind of complete. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to lift this up and just pop that powder back in the container. Now, this piece is 3/4 of an inch. We're going to do this piece here, but I've left it longer for a couple of reasons. A, it gives me more to hold on to when I'm doing the embossing, but you can also just use a clothespin if you want to hold on to it and not have to move your hands. So we're going to take the Make the Season Sparkle stamp, and we're going to just stamp that down like that. And then we're going to heat emboss this. I did heat emboss around the edges as well, and I'll show you how I did that. It's super easy, but let's just get this piece done. Okay, well, let's just make sure we've got all of it with powder on it. And I'm just going to just brush some of that little bit extra off there. There we go. Okay, so coming back in with the heat gun. And I don't know if you can see it on the video. I was trying to do it under the camera. You can tell when it's starting to go because it all melts together. So I'm just going to trim this off. here, and here. Okay, so I've got my little greeting here. Now what I'm going to do, this is where I absolutely need my clothespin, is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to just press it into the Versamark pad on 2 edges. And then I'm going to come back in with my powder. And I think I'm holding on to the edge that this is a bit thicker than the other one. There we go. Yeah, you can actually just dip this in. So I'm just going to grab this with my clothes peg so that I don't end up burning my fingers. And we have to do this in 2 steps because otherwise it just gets all messed up. Okay, so now we're going to come back in, do that whole thing again on the other long side, and the short side we're just kind of pushing it in just so that we get some of that Versamark ink right on the edge. Now we're just going to dip that in again so we get, and then we can just give it a flick if there's too much on there. We're going to just grab it with the clothes peg again, just like that. And then last bit of noise, I promise. Okay, so now we've got our greeting all done up as well. I'm just going to get all of the embossing powder stuff off the desktop here, especially putting the lid on the powder. I know from experience, if the powder gets on your clothes or anything like that, it's terrible. So let's just put all of that out of the way, brush my hands off, just give the counter a bit of a brush as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and build this card now. So we're going to dimensionalize this piece, but first we're going to put the ribbon around it, and we're going to put the ribbon right about here. So I'm just going to snip that off there like that, and I know I want it there. So I'm just going to hold the ribbon there and I'm just going to flip it over, and that way I know where to put my adhesive to adhere the ends down on the back of the card. Sorry, I feel really clumsy today, so I apologize if it looks like I'm clumsy on the video. I just feel clumsy today. So we're going to just add some adhesive here again. Just fold that over. There we go, just like that. Okay. And then we're going to take our greeting. First thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to do this. This is a faux bow. You just take your leftover piece of ribbon and you just tie it in a knot. Like that. And then you can trim your ends. And just like that. So we've got, oh, I did that straight. I thought I'd done it at an angle. Okay. So let's just do this one again, and we're going to do it at an angle. There we go. All right. So then we're going to just dimensionalize this onto the card base. So I'm just going to pop a dimensional over each end of this ribbon. It really helps hold it in place. So we're going to, I'm using a lot of dimensionals because when you heat the cardstock, it does tend to warp it just a little bit. So if you're doing it as a flat mount, just make sure you put it adhesive all the way around the edge. And then it won't waffle up. Oh, I got sticky fingers now. There we go. Speaking of adhesive. So we had actually quite a few new subscribers this week. Thank you. And some new people commenting. So thank you so much. I love your support. I love your ideas for color combos and different ways you would do the cards. I love hearing all of your ideas. That's what helps the community grow. We each kind of springboard off each other's ideas. So I'm just going to pop this down. Again, it's dimensionalized, and that also helps to really kind of make the snowflakes pop. So now I'm going to dimensionalize this piece, but I'm going to put a dimensional right at the edge and then right at this edge as well, because I'm putting it on top of the ribbon and I want it to adhere over top of the ribbon without it just kind of floating in space. So we're going to do this, and then we'll add our bling, and we're done. So this is going to go on here like this. So those dimensionals are going to help hold it down. We've got our faux bow going on, and it's a little hard to see in the bright light, but if I just tip it up, maybe you can read it well. It's like make the seasons sparkle. And then we're just going to grab some of our bling. Again, you can use the basic rhinestones for sure. Just going to pop one in there, one up here, and then one down here, just to help bring the eye around and fill in some space. So that is our second card using the Sparkling Snowflakes set. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.